Hey everyone, thanks for joining us as we stream live CBC Live at TIFF from the Intercontinental Hotel in Toronto during the Toronto International Film Festival. It's day 5. Zulekha Nathu's joining me today from CBC News, and I'm dying to know, how are you holding up?
It feels like day 25.
I agree.
To say the least. Yeah, this is the thing. It's super fun. And we were both saying, don't want to change anything. Just want to be able to sleep less and still function.
And see more movies.
And that would be the key.
Yeah, you know? Exactly. So tell me, what has been your best TIFF moment so far? Because you've done so many amazing red carpets and interviews.
Okay, so my best TIFF moment was very brief, but I think it was just really nice and genuine when I was on the red carpet for Thanks for Sharing, which stars Mark Ruffalo and Gwyneth Paltrow. Gwyneth Paltrow walks up to us reporters, and one of the reporters commented on how her killer stiletto, 5-inch
yes, saw them yesterday.
Heels,
were they a leopardy?
Were gorgeous,
yeah.
Yes. Zebra print, and she said, yeah, but I can't walk in them. I shouldn't have worn them. And I'm like, I love that she just said that. She actually, she actually admitted that they were too high, which they were.
That's one of those celebrities are people too moments.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, give me some more of the red carpet roundup from last night, beginning with The Company You Keep. That was one of the big premieres last night.
Yes, and the best part about this was Robert Redford showed up. And that's so great because we really didn't think that he was going to come. He didn't.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, he's,
He believes in film festivals.
And that this is true, but he also is not, he shies away from the press sometimes. Like he didn't talk a lot. He posed for pictures, and he actually had to return to the area where the still photographers take pictures because their pictures turned out blurry. That's how fast he was.
Oh, wow.
So he had to come back, and he was like, so let me get this straight. You missed the shot. You missed the shot?
Robert Redford came back and said that?
Yeah, and then he posed for them again. So
I thought it was a trick
to
blur the lines of age, just walk really fast. And
he did eventually return, yeah.
All right, and then, of course, a big Canadian film premiere last night, Midnight's Children. Yeah. We've already talked a lot about this movie, and we've got a lot more. So we were on the red carpet, and we joined Deepa Mehta and Salman Rushdie. They were the first ones up. I'm just going to let them tell you what they thought about finally bringing this film to audiences. Oh, there they are. This is some red carpet visuals. There's Deepa. So before we get to the clip of them talking, I'll let you know, Deepa, as Zabe told us, actually told everyone to dress with Indian flair. So all the stars that you're going to see in our red carpet interviews did that, and it just, it was very different and it looked incredible.
And I don't think they were out of their skin in that. They were kind of in their element because a lot of them are from India,
Absolutely.
Work on Indian films. It's second nature for them, so that's just lovely to see them be able to do it.
So let's check out Deepa and Salman and what they had to say about making the movie.
It being done better, so it feels like a dream come true, and I'm really proud of these actors for giving like 200%. I think you can see on the screen that everybody's just giving it everything. They're just really putting heart and soul into it.
There were lots of challenges. I mean, 64 locations, a 70-day shoot, night shoots. We're working with so many animals. We're working with cobras, lizards, geckos. I mean, you name it, and monitors. We were working, 40 degrees, 100% humidity, but it was fun. And I can look back at it, and I look at all these wonderful people. We had such a great time, and Salman was always there supporting us. And, a year later, here we are, and it felt like a family reunion. It's been great.
We saw the film, but it's not until you hear her say that you remember, oh, wow, yes, there were so many animals and cobras, and it must have been hot.
Newborns, I mean,
You're right.
Yeah, a lot of hurdles that they had to overcome in that
Yeah,
film,
kids and animals, difficult in entertainment, but you know what? She doesn't shy away from it. So what a great compliment Salman Rushdie paid to the actors in the film, and we talked to some of those actors, one of which is our own Zabe Sheikh, star of Little Mosque on the Prairie for so many years, and we know him well. I was so proud to see him in the film. Did you have that feeling of, geez, I know that guy?
Totally, and the fact that he was sort of part of the opening sequence, so it's one of the first people that you see.
Yeah, it's an epic film. It spans 3 generations pretty much, and so we're going to look at Zabe and the person who played his love interest, Shahana Goswami. She played Amina, he plays Nadir, and of course Anita Majumdar, who played Emerald. Check them out on the red carpet.
I read the book, which was just before I was meeting Salman and Deepa for the film. I kept imagining myself as this character, and I was just praying and hoping, and I'm a very optimistic person, so I felt like maybe I'm being, you know, too presumptuous that that's what they're going to be offering to me. And yeah, and then that's how the things finally ended up happening.
I was very proud to represent this fine country of ours, and the fact that Deepa represents Canada, and the fact that she brings a global perspective to this all, that actually is quintessentially Canadian. We are absolutely humble about what we do, but we're absolutely take a global perspective. And to be part of this film, it's a Canadian film, and yet it's not at all a Canadian film. And that, I think, is a testament to their work, but also the country that helped build the film.
I got this message out of the blue saying, I think you would make a great Emerald. And I started quickly reading through the book, and I fell in love with this character. I mean, Deepa Mehta and Salman Rushdie included, it's a dream role for me. I enjoy the character.
You know, we were pretty lucky because in addition to being able to talk to the cast, this was an amazing opportunity to actually speak with Salman Rushdie. And CBC News had a sit-down interview with him about this film. And what was so interesting, first of all, is that he actually said, you know, he sold the rights to this for $1 just in the beginning because the budget was so tight. And when we brought that up, he actually said, hey, that's not true. I actually sold it for $2 because I charged $1 for the screenplay. Have a listen to what he said to us.
Thought this book will never become a movie?
Yeah, I mean, often. You know, I often thought that it was very improbable. I mean, partly for external reasons and partly just for the difficulty of doing it. I'm sort of amazed that we managed to make a film of this quality on the kind of money we had to spend. And it was a brutal shooting schedule. I think, you know, Deepa, as I said, was by far the toughest shoot that she ever had. So just pulling it off is, I mean, I think, you know, an extraordinary feat.
Now, why did you have to be convinced to write this screenplay?
I just felt I've written this already, you know, and I don't particularly want to go back into it. But in the end, actually, I came to feel that it was really, had been a really interesting ride, you know, to go. I think it's because the book's far away enough from me now. I mean, it's a book that I wrote when I was much younger. And I was able to look at it with a kind of objectivity, you know, as a result. I think if it was a book I just published, I think I would have been the wrong person to write the screenplay. I think somebody else would have done a better job. But this way I could look back at my younger self and be disrespectful to him. You know.
All right, guys, we've got a special guest for today's edition of TIFF Star Style. I'm so happy to have her because she's one of the most stylish women at the CBC. Take a look at her. Heather Hiscox from CBC News. Hi, Heather. How are you?
I'm looking forward to this.
We invited you to talk about your TIFF experience thus far, but since you're here and you are so fashionable, let's look at the TIFF Style Stars together. Guys, bring us up the first one. These is everyone from last night's red carpets, press conferences, etc., and parties.
Okay.
Okay, so Lily Collins, this is the daughter of Phil Collins. She's the first one up. She stars in Writers, and she's wearing Balmain. Ladies, what do you think of this?
I kind of, oh, there we go. I wanted to just see the front.
The front on. Mm-hmm.
I like it. I like it when they choose either fitted or, you know, and it's not too revealing, and because a little bit of both is always a problem. Like, I like it when it's just
yes.
when it's just fitted and not too. It looks more sophisticated.
I'm looking right in there. I'm just taking it all in. It's gonna. I think it's not going to be good for news. It's going to be distracting for news, but I'm loving it on the red carpet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Absolutely.
They can always be more playful there.
It's appropriate for her age.
Yes,
because she is so young. Doing something short like that, and of course with the detail, detail like that from Balmain makes something that is cocktail still look red carpet enough. All right, who's up next? Oh, so this is a very similar look, don't you find? Another young starlet, Nina Dobrev. She's Canadian. What do you think?
That same type of print going.
She's you know, she could wear anything and look
I
absolutely
agree with you.
gorgeous. She is a beautiful young woman.
She has a very classic look.
So this one is Monique Villiers, and yeah, I mean, with her legs, you can do it. So this is at the Soho House. This was a party. She already had her red carpet, and she made our list there as well.
Love the shoes. Terrific
Heather,
shoes.
you can wear that outfit.
Oh, yes.
It's good for the morning show.
Okay, who's up next? Oh, well, Naomi Watts. What do you ladies think of her?
You know, I'm not a personal fan of this because the color and the length is a bit drab for me. be honest.
It's a bit of a miss for me too, but now that's a
Really?
little better on this
Yeah.
side there. That looks
Yeah, but
very
maybe
nice
that's
there.
The beauty
The
too. It's nice to
ponytail
see her with long hair.
makes it more sophisticated.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
I guess I don't know. You are on the news every day. You wear bright colors. What do you think?
Well, I'm a bright color girl. I love the bolds, and that for me just a little bit muted. But again, she's very, very fair. It goes with her complexion, but it wouldn't be my choice.
It washed her a little bit. That was Ellie Saab. Still a beautiful dress, but maybe
Yes.
not for such a pale blonde. Okay, who is our next? Oh, Jada Pinkett Smith. Well, what do you ladies think? First of all, of the beauty, this mohawk hair.
I think she looks great. I
She looks
actually didn't
amazing.
even recognize her at first.
Really?
No, that's true.
She's at the Free Angela and All Political Prisoners premiere, supporting her husband. She's wearing Tom Ford, which is very sleek. What do you think of the dress and the shoes?
I love it. I mean, Gwyneth at the Oscars, and this. I mean, those are lasting dresses. I love how Tom Ford constructs a dress, and she wears it
Absolutely.
well. Beautiful.
Yeah, I liked it too.
And you remember her well from the Oscars,
Yes.
because of course you guys talked about her so much.
Was my
Everyone was
favorite.
talking. Tom Ford White. Next up. Oh, Ewan McGregor. Ladies.
Simple.
Looking fine.
You know, I wouldn't expect him to do anything too crazy.
Is it just a T-shirt under a blazer?
looks like
yeah, I'm
it.
just trying to see if there's a tie
I
there
feel
and a
we're
black
not that
shirt.
impressed. Let's move on. That's Ewan at the Impossible premiere. Give us something a little more fabulous. The ladies are trying to be nice. Do we have another
That's
one,
it.
guys? Oh, is that it?
That is
Okay,
it.
well then tweet us at hashtag TIFF12style with your favorite, and we are giving away amazing L'Oreal beauty packs. They are the official sponsor of TIFF, and so we told them they better give us prizes if we wanted to talk about them.
Jada, Nina. One
Jada,
and two
Nina,
for me.
that's yours.
One
so
and two.
that's what Heather thinks. All right, so tell us, Heather,
Yes.
what has your TIFF experience been so far?
It's been terrific. It was really fun. I'm going to bed at the time I'm usually waking up, which is really fun. It's a nice weekend change. Although I must say, guiltily, I have been only to parties and to none of the films yet. That will come. But I've had a really fun weekend of parties. It was really lovely to be invited.
Can you tell me a bit about the CFC barbecue? It's
Yes.
such an institution of TIFF and of Canadian film. And what was it like? You were there yesterday.
I was there yesterday, and I was there the year before, and it's terrific. You know, it's really like a backyard party. Everybody knows everybody. You know, so many in the industry in the country. But to hear Norman Jewison talk about the place, 24 years it's been in existence, and in this film festival, he was proud to say that 50 alumni have films in TIFF this year. So you see the kind of impact that it's having on the global film industry. A lot of fun to be there, and burgers and, you know, gelato, a lot of fun. But for me personally, I mean, I always feel like I always talk to you about this, Jamie, and I always don't mean it, but my stepson and our son went there. He's a movie maker, so he did the writing and the directing part of Norman Jewison's program, and it had a big impact in shaping his future, and he's working away in Los Angeles right now, so there's a bit of a personal tie. But so he has very strong memories of the place, and happy to be there.
Story.
Yes.
I was there, and I went with someone who's in our control room right now, Adam Asimov, who also did the director's program. So we got some pretty good people working on this live stream show. I was there with him yesterday, and I thought, wow, this is like very Gatsby, this spread. And I didn't realize that that is the actual school. So I can't imagine what it's like to go to school there.
The grounds,
the
house,
are
and this incredible lawn that just goes on forever, and 2,000
you feel like it's a
people.
set.
It feels like
it
rehab.
does.
Not that I've been, but in my mind, it's just a serene place. What an amazing place for young creatives to go.
Absolutely.
So Heather, best TIFF moment ever?
Well, it's been ever.
Ever?
Well, I haven't really done many years of TIFF. It's only been a few years of TIFF, I have to admit. Best TIFF moment ever. Well, I will say, on Friday night, spying Salman Rushdie, I wasn't expecting to see him there, so just walking into the Shangri-La, and there he was, and you sort of pause. Those are always those aha moments. Is it, you know, you sort of see them out of context. That was a good one this year. And then just at our own Q After Dark party at the Target Hotel on Saturday night, just among our own staff, our own CBC stars. There was Alan Hocko and Adam Beach. I was talking to Alan Hocko, and Adam Beach came in. They're getting set for their next seasons at CBC, obviously. And Adam's been really working out and trimming down even further during the summer. So he came up to us and he lifted up his shirt and he was having this ab off with Alan Hocko. So that was kind of an interesting moment.
Alan Hocko?
Yes, right in front of me. I was witness to it. So
and where was your Twitter account then?
I did not tweet you. I thought that was
question.
private moment. You're absolutely right. I should have.
That was just for you, Heather. All right, so, you know, the news team has been having incredible interviews with just the best stars and filmmakers of the festival. You know, you're probably going to see your stepson on your own network pretty soon.
One day again, yes.
And so one of the stories that we're bringing up today, because we got to interview them yesterday, is west of Memphis. Do you remember this story from the news? 3 men wrongly convicted of murdering teenagers. 3 teenagers wrongly convicted of murdering young boys. And when the first documentary about this film was made, called Paradise Lost, so many celebrities were touched by the story that a few of them, including Johnny Depp, started to pay the legal fees of these men who were finally freed. And so we have a clip of CBC News sitting down with the director of the film, Amy J. Berg, to tell us how she got interested in doing the film. Heather, thank you so much for joining us and giving us your input on those style ladies. And have fun with the rest of the
Thank you. I will. Thanks. And thanks, Zuleka.
Yeah, and I just need to say that Heather here is already on an early morning schedule.
Yes.
So the fact that she's going to these parties is beyond being a trooper.
Just
like,
one
let's
more.
just get that out there right
That's
now.
good. Oh, thanks, ladies.
Okay, so let's check out CBC News' interview with Amy J. Berg, director of West of Memphis.
Got interested in the case when I received an email from a friend asking if Peter Jackson could get in touch with me, and they wrote me this impassionate email about this case and their involvement in the case, and I started to. It's kind of an intoxicating case. My position on the case, I think it's like the greatest injustice in the American criminal justice system. I mean, it's a travesty. It's a huge miscarriage.
You know, it's funny because that was an interview with the director talking about Johnny Depp. He was on the red carpet, and I was speaking with some media the day after on that red carpet, and they said that that was the one carpet that we've all sort of seen that didn't have the best security, because some fans actually got through and were yelling at Johnny Depp to try to get, you know, some sort of autograph, get a picture signed. That hasn't happened in other places. Like, Johnny Depp just does something to people. You know?
Johnny Depp is a total rock star. You know what's interesting? That Johnny Depp and Damien Eccles, who is one of the men who was wrongly accused, they've become such close friends. Apparently, they're like brothers. Like, they have similar tattoos. They share tattoos in common. And Eccles, due to the fact that he was in prison for 18 years, wears sunglasses every single day in the sun because of eye sensitivity that he developed. So, really interesting story that Peter Jackson and Johnny Depp and all these people were so touched through a documentary film by this story, and that we continue to hear about it today. So speaking of serious, good content at the Toronto International Film Festival, we both saw End of Watch. I really enjoyed this film for its authenticity. It made me appreciate policemen in a way that I never knew I should before. What did you think of it?
I really liked it. I was actually just really impressed with the casting choices, because I wouldn't have put these two together, the pairing of sort of the partners, the cop partners, and then the other sort of side characters. I just thought everyone was so well chosen, and they played their roles really well, even if it was out of what you would think would be their comfort zone. So I really enjoyed it. It's really hard to balance humor with such a serious subject, and they totally did it, which was great.
Absolutely, and such a key part of the film, aside from really giving us an authentic look at what it's like to be part of the LA Police Department. A big part of it was the camaraderie and the brother relationship between policemen who are partners. And so CBC News, Laura Thompson, got to sit down with Jake Gyllenhaal. And so this is a great clip that explains how Jake really they went with the police
on ride-alongs.
They went ride-alongs for 2 weeks, he and his co-star, and so he explains basically what that loaned to his performance in the film, and he also explains a little bit about what it was like then to bring that partnership and that experience to the set. Check it out.
Fist fights, car chases, shootouts.
Yeah.
What was it like on set?
On set, it was easy, you know. I mean, we had been through a number of scenarios in real life with police officers, so I think, you know, when we got to set to do it, you know, the thing that really got in our way was, you know, it was a low-budget movie, and we're doing big action in a low-budget movie, which meant we had less time for the acting scenes, which meant we had to be completely prepared. We shot every scene in the car was shot in day and night in a day and a half. So, you know, which left enough days for other things, but, you know, the first chase sequence we only had 3 tries at, and if we didn't get in at 3, then we wouldn't have an opening to a movie. So it was full of pressure, but at the same time it was a lot easier than what I see and what I saw the police officers do on a daily basis, for real. When you're imitating something, for instance, like a partnership between 2 police officers, it takes a lot of work to get to an authentic place, to see what we saw on the streets with two or, you know, a number of different partners, but, you know, 2 partners every night. We go out 2 or 3 times a week for 5 months with different partners in LAPD and Sheriff's Department. And to see that, you know, that bond is made by, in the face of violence, in the face of different scenarios they find themselves in the face of protecting themselves for real. So in order to get that for real, yeah, I mean, it's almost close to impossible for 2 actors to do, but we tried to get as close, and in order to do that, you have to get into the muck with each other.
So this is the second time today that someone talks about budget, the budget constraints of making a film.
Right.
So speaking of budget, I want to bring up where we are in the Intercontinental Hotel. We are streaming live, and I just want to show you what our control room looks like. So guys, if you could bring up the MacBook, these are the guys in the bathroom. If you look down to the left, you can see the toilet. This is our team. That's Adam Asimov on the left, James Cooper on the toilet, Dinu Sebzan.
If you think it isn't used for both purposes, think again, by the way.
Well, we're trying to dissuade
everyone
that from happening.
Everyone has become a family, really. That's all you need to say.
Absolutely. So I just thought we'd give them a shout out because those are some pretty talented guys, and to have them here with us doing this, because we all love film and we really are so happy about the opportunity to talk about it, is pretty special. All right. So we've got another great CBC News interview. Lily Collins, who's the daughter of Phil Collins, she's a star of The Writers. Have you gotten to see that film yet?
I haven't caught that one yet.
Okay,
no.
Me neither, but they also talked in her interview about what it's like to be Phil Collins' daughter.
Yeah.
I know that when we've seen her photos, the guys have said, "Oh God, that girl's gorgeous," and then we said she's Phil Collins' daughter, and of course that leads to conversation about is it an obvious conclusion to become an actor, to be in the film industry,
and is it a blessing or a curse? Sometimes,
exactly.
You know, having the name can taint the way people see you. So.
Exactly. They think it's somewhat
handed to you.
Nepotism, but it's actually not that. So check out what she had to say.
My whole life, you know, people saying, "Are you doing this because you want to, or are you doing it because your dad's in entertainment, or did they pressure you into doing it?" And so I've kind of dealt with that fine line all my life of explaining it's something that is innately in me because I grew up around it, but it's something that I've chosen for myself, and wanting to prove myself in a sense that I'm working hard to get to where I am and not having someone make phone calls for me.
So if you notice, that is this room.
Yes.
This is the room.
Repurposed for various looks.
Exactly. See? This is the room being used for a lot of interviews. Have you had any in here, or have you been going to junkets?
I have one tomorrow. I have been going to junkets up until tomorrow, or I'll be here.
Can you just briefly explain, I find this so interesting, how this whole hotel system works during TIFF?
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of the actors and talent and writers and directors will do interviews, but it's usually set up so that you don't bring in your cameras as the news reporters or the camera people. There are 2 cameras set up. One shoots you, one shoots the talent, and you just sit down, and you're usually given a certain amount of time to chat with each star. So, you know, 5 to 7 minutes is usually the case, and then they bring in the next person, you leave, and you go interview whoever else else there is. So it's sort of like this assembly line of people. And sometimes you don't even get an interview with it, depending on who the star is and how many they're doing. So it is a very structured process.
Yeah, and we're all competing to talk with the best talent.
Yeah.
But we're lucky. We get some great interviews.
Yeah, totally.
All right. So one of my favorite things, because I'm a digital girl, let's check out what's trending at TIFF. Okay, so Cloud Atlas has a star-studded cast, including Tom Hanks, Halle Berry. Of course, it's the Wachowskis made this film. And so I want to point out that one of the incredible things that you can do is, as a part of the public, is go to, and we do it too, go to the TIFF YouTube channel. Now, this YouTube channel has all of the press conferences. And if you're like me and, you know, you love the parties, but really it would be nice to see, I want to see more films, I want to see more conversation about films, this is a great place to go. And of course, the incredible Tom Hanks is part of this film. You were saying how he's a big talker, and here's a little, here's him giving a rundown, in a nutshell, of what Cloud Atlas is about.
I heard that they were going to make a German blockbuster that was written in Costa Rica. I said, I'm in, because I have never heard such a bodacious United Nations approach to making a film before.
And you wanted to test the highways.
Speaking for everybody, I guess, you know, this was a fully realized vision that was presented to us at the get-go. These guys had gone off and were aiming at this sort of piece of cinematic literature, and all we really had to do is read the blueprint to see what was going to be expected of me. And I said, well, that sounds like all the things that acting in movies is supposed to be. It's going to be brilliant fun. We're going to get to go to cool places. It will be very, very hard work on occasion, and we'll have to go through some sort of like emotional trench to get at the moments that are very well highlighted in both the book and the screenplay. And I mean, shit, it's what I do for a living, so I jumped at it.
And you know, I really love that it was Tom Hanks that gave that clip, because he is actually very chatty, and that's telling of him kind of giving a long explanation. You know, he's not afraid to think about a response and then give it. I was on the red carpet, so I saw all of them come through, and you know, Tom Hanks literally stopped to chat with every reporter.
Oh, really?
And you could tell, like, his handlers were trying to rush him past, and he was like, nope, I'm going to stand. Even the ones that are sort of smaller outlets that don't always get a chance to interview everybody, he stopped and made sure he answered every question, and that's rare, because a lot of them will only do what they have to and maybe do one or two questions, and he just stood there, he had his hands in his pockets, and he just waited, and I just thought that was so fabulous.
You know what? George Clooney was the same last year at the Ides of March premiere. You know, some of the other talent went right by us, they had to get in, and George Clooney, maybe he stopped even for us, and we thought maybe, you know, they're such big stars that they know how important it is to talk to the media, talk to the fans, and they also know that that film is going to wait for them for as long as they want to take.
Exactly.
All right, next up, Will Smith. Will Smith and Jay-Z produced Free Angela and All Political Prisoners together, and Will came to promote the film at last night's red carpet. So TIFF tweeted that Will caused fandemonium.
Crazy.
Yeah, he is one of the biggest stars in the world. So make sure you're following at tiff.net. Are you following them for all their updates?
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
They've really, you know, they've got the inside track if anyone does.
Yeah.
And check out their website, tiff.net, to find out about Free Angela and All Political Prisoners. Okay, next up. K-Stu kisses Toronto goodbye. So, you know, she was here for On the Road. We talked to her. We still have interviews with her and Garrett Hedlund coming up on the show, which is great. But now she's gone. This is not TIFF news, but they have both been to TIFF. It's big news.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us about this one, Zuleka?
This one is pretty interesting, because we just kind of heard last night that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are married. You know, we know that he was with Scarlett Johansson before, and he had been with a slew of other actresses in between. We'd heard rumors about him and Blake Lively, but of course Lively also with people like Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
So a bit
but
of
they
a
have been in, you know, officially dating for quite a while. You know, of course they started Green Lantern together. So now they've tied the knot. Him once again, her first round. I wish.
And
them
hopefully
the best.
only round. Yeah.
Yes, exactly, for a good Canadian boy. All right, Deanna Sumanak was at the CCMAs last night, also not TIFF, but a major night in Canadian country music. They rolled out the green carpet, the John Deere green carpet, and here's a picture that she shared of the thousands of fans that lined up to see some of the biggest stars in country music, including Taylor Swift, who tweeted in Saskatoon for the Canadian Country Music Awards, drinking a pumpkin spice latte. Just realized 70% of my tweets are food or cat related. They are pretty much cat related. And of course, you can see the entire recap of the CCMAs on CBC Music, including an interview with Taylor Swift.
Exclusive interview.
Well, yes, but
from that day.
Deanna Sumanak also has something coming up on the National, which is really cool. All right, Zuleka, what's coming up for you tonight?
Tonight I'm heading to the red carpet for a late quartet.
Okay.
So it's going to be a busy afternoon, actually. And yeah, and then I'm doing some interviews tomorrow for the movie Zaytoon with Stephen Dorff.
I want to try and catch Much Ado About Nothing because I love Joss Whedon.
I heard such good things about that, by the way.
I'm really excited to see, I'm really enjoying seeing these interviews and cutting them to bring them to this show. His interview with Joss Whedon, he had a really long sit down with Eli Glasner, with one of my favorite filmmakers. All right, so to follow us at CBC Live, that will give you all of the latest updates of what we're up to. We're giving away prizes, we're going to parties, and for CBC News, Zuleka.
Yeah, cbc.ca/arts, you'll get all your TIFF updates, and I'm at Zuleka Nethu for Twitter, and all of our reporters are out there, so catch them, follow them, we're all doing really fun stuff.
Okay, and now everybody, tune in again tomorrow, 12:30. We are live streaming from the Intercontinental Hotel for 2 more days, catching all the biggest TIFF news and updates. Thanks for watching. We'll see you then.